The Singaporean Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, has warned everyone in the country against traveling, or even attempting to travel, to Ukraine to take up arms in the conflict happening there. Doing so will be considered an offense. According to the statement, the Ukrainian embassy in Singapore has been receiving calls from people who are interested in joining the International Legion for the territorial defense of Ukraine. The ministry has since said in a statement that partaking in the conflict is against the law. This also applies to non-citizens. As long as you are in Singapore, or you're a Singaporean abroad, attempting to bear arms in Ukraine is off limits and we would like to highlight that it is an offense for any person, whilst in Singapore, to wage, attempt to wage, or abet the waging of war, against the government of any power with which Singapore is not at war, the ministry wrote in the statement. For citizens of Singapore, in particular, even if they commit these acts whilst outside Singapore, they will be legally deemed to have committed them as if in Singapore, and hence liable for an offense. Singapore's response to the invasion. Burhan Ghafoor, Singapore's permanent representative to the United Nations, spoke in support of Ukraine at the UN General Assembly on February 28, 2022. Image. United Nations, YouTube. In the statement, the ministry reaffirmed that Singapore has taken a clear stance on the invasion, and have called upon Russia to cease hostilities, and respect the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Ukraine. Singapore has imposed its own sanctions on Russia, and strongly condemns its invasion of Ukraine. The sanctions have landed Singapore on Russia's list of foreign states that have committed unfriendly acts against Russia. Not your fight. On February 27, 2022, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that an international legion would be established to allow volunteers from foreign nations to fight for Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for international volunteers to help fight for Ukraine. Image. AP, Free Malaysia Today, FMT. In just a week, more than 20,000 people from 52 countries have volunteered to join the fight, according to Ukrainian Foreign Affairs Minister Dmytro Kuleba. The number of volunteers who have arrived in Ukraine has not been specified. In Singapore, however, the ministry has advised those who wish to help Ukraine to do so through legal channels such as donating to legitimate organizations like the Singapore Red Cross, that are raising funds for humanitarian aid. Read more life stories. Singaporeans react to making it into Putin's burn book, and its comedy gold. Ukrainian. Russian restaurant in Spor pledges 10% of sales to Ukraine relief efforts. Cover image sourced from AP, Free Malaysia Today, FMT.